Welcome back to Leads on Demand. This is the parts 3 and 4 because we did parts 1 and 2 in our previous session. So today what we're going to be talking about is what to now do with this ideal customer profile that we generated, right? And so I think last session, it was really cool kind of seeing everybody's ahas, like, oh my gosh, you can do all this. You can get as detailed with AI as you want. You can kind of create these customized ideal customer profiles. And so now that we have this really cool story and a really cool understanding of who our ideal customer profile is and who we're trying to market to, the goal here is to get organized around how we're going to market to them. And then once we know how we're going to market to them, how do we actually get ads up and running? And so one of the feedback we've gotten from our agents, as well as lender partners and just other people in the industry, are that, hey, how do I run ads? Like I want to spend money. I want to start running some ads. So what we're going to do is go through at the end of the class is go through and show you how to launch your first Google ad campaign. And we can go from there. So this will be a step-by-step. So what we're going to do, we're going to just need a couple things really quick. And so I'm just going to ask everyone to grab this together so that we're all on the same page. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need access to the ideal customer profile that you guys generated last time. So if you look back at your chat, so you should have memory in ChatGPT of everything that you did in that previous conversation. Now they've just made the development OpenAI where the memory that you generate from these conversations should persist. I haven't tested it out yet, but for everything, you should always be able to go back into your conversations and at least see or copy paste or do whatever you need to do. If you were then going to prompt ChatGPT again in this conversation, like, hey, let's pick up the work and do it all over again, it might not remember everything that you said previously. Okay. So what I would typically try to do is if I'm ever launching a new window and I'm trying to build on the work that I did previously, for me, best practice is copying and pasting my entire conversation with ChatGPT and then uploading that into a new instance and say, based on all this work that I did previously, now I want to do this, right? Instead, what we're going to do, though, today is we're going to do it a little more simply. And so what I'm going to ask you guys to do is just copy and paste your ideal customer profile. So go into your ChatGPT sessions that you guys had last time. You should have a story, whichever one, we went through different versions of it. But you should have a story that kind of outlines what this ideal customer profile is. What I want you to do is copy that. So you can just click Control-C, right-click, copy, whatever you need to do. And then what I'm going to ask you guys to do is go into Google Drive or Word doc or Notepad. It doesn't really matter. We're just going to try and save it somewhere where you can go back and easily reference this pretty easily. But what I'm going to ask you to do is basically copy and paste this into a separate document called your ideal customer profile document. Because if you've checked ahead and looked at the workbook and see what we're going to do today, we're going to be going back to this pretty frequently. And so we want to make sure this is easily accessible for us as we're prompting ChatGPT in the future. Okay. And then from there, we'll create another document as well. But I think for right now, we can kind of start getting started and talk about real stuff. So, okay. So once we know who our customer is, this whole class was inspired by Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Offers, right? He writes another book called $100 Million Leads. And his trilogy of books, I forgot what the other one is, $100 Million Sales, maybe. His trilogy, in my opinion, kind of follows Russell Brunson's to some extent. It's just frankly a much more diluted version. Brunson is extremely technical. Those books take a while to get through. He gives you all sorts of stuff. I think Hormozi kind of like breaks it down a little bit better. And so if you're wanting to kind of see what we're doing or pick it up, that would be one of the references I would suggest. Grab a copy. It's $20, $100 Million Offers. Hormozi wrote it. I think, frankly, it's one of the best books that's been written on creating pitches and offers and stuff like that. And whether or not you agree with what he says, you can't deny the output, and you can always use it as a way to form a foundation for other stuff. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through and basically create a landing page, right? So we're going to create a landing page that our ideal customer, when they come on this page, they should be so enthralled with you and your offer that they can't help but click and request the information or get access or book a meeting or whatever it is that you're trying to do. The whole point of the $100 million offer premise is that what you want to do is create an offer that your ideal customer would feel stupid not accepting, right? I'm going to steal his book example because I think it's great. And I don't know if Kemper's the car guy, but I'm going to pick on Kemper for a second. So Adam, if I say, hey man, there you go. Oh, you've died, cheater. I can't ask you. Nate, you're a car guy, right?
Sure, why not?
All right, cool. So if I say, or hey Nate, I know you're a car guy. You're probably a shoe guy too. I don't. Right here, I got you. I got these slippers. They're kind of beat up. I wear them to the dog park, around my house, all that kind of stuff. You want to buy these for like 20 grand?
No.
No? Why not? They're great slippers, dude. They're really comfortable. I don't even know what brand they are. I think I got them on Amazon. You don't want
got slippers, bro?
All right. Well, what if I told you, Nate, that when you buy these slippers for $20,000, you also get a brand new 2025 Ferrari 459 XX Street Legal? Would you buy these slippers for 20 grand if you got the Ferrari too?
Sure.
Probably. In fact, you'd be, hey, let me check the slip. Let me take it for a test drive, and I'll have your cash wired to you by the end of the day. Right? Okay. Yeah. So that's an extreme example. And that's basically what we're trying to do with our customers, right? We want to make them feel so crazy, like, oh my gosh, wait, if I sign up to do this and buy these awful slippers that you have, Jared, I get a free Ferrari that I could then sell for $500,000 on top. You're an idiot. Of course I'm going to accept this, right? And so while we might not always be able to give away Ferraris with our sandals, and if you figure out a business where you can make money doing that, please give me a call because I am in, right? But while we're not necessarily able to get to that extreme all the time, that's the kind of premise that we want to have when we're constructing funnel campaigns and we're constructing offers for our clients, right? And so I would just always challenge you guys to keep that in mind. Like, okay, how am I selling a Ferrari when really all, like, they're going to click to get some shoes, but really what they're buying is this Ferrari, and they would be so dumb to not want this Ferrari that they're willing to upsell for the shoes, kind of thing. So what we're going to do today is go through this exercise. And so what we can do is pull up our blueprint. So if you got access to the Google Drive, it should be in the calendar meeting. There is a link to something that should say parts 3 and 4 funnel Google Ads blueprint. If you guys wouldn't mind, open that up, or at least download your own copies onto your machine. So that way I don't have any version control issues when I go back in my notes. But what we're going to do is basically go through creating the prompts that we would need in order to have ChatGPT give us some initial funnel construction, right? It might need some tweaking. It's totally cool. AI is not perfect. At least it helps us get started. Okay. So are you guys good? You guys all have your workbooks up in front of you? Can we kind of get started going through this? Okay. Sweet. So, all right, Jared, awesome. Thumbs up. Great. All right. So at the end of the day, this is what we're going to do. We got to write, what is your funnel going to do? Well, I mean, sorry, real quick. I'm going to recap who my ideal customer profile is. So you guys, we'll just use me as an example. We're going to go back and get your guys' input on feedback later, but just so you guys can remember, this is my ideal customer profile. So I am going to be marketing to Shannon, or sorry, not Shannon. I saw Shannon pop up in our chat. I'm marketing to Susan and Shannon. I want to do business with Shannon too. We're marketing to Susan. Meet Susan. She's in her late 60s, early 70s, recently retired or caring for a spouse who isn't as mobile as they used to be. She lived in their home for 30 years, raised kids, celebrate holidays, knows every creak in the floorboards, but now the stairs are hard and she wants to move, right? She feels stuck. She has all the memories in her house. She doesn't know where to start. She's overwhelmed with the thought of moving in the wrong direction. She's heard horror stories, this whole thing, right? What she wants is to be done, okay? To be settled, sitting on a new patio with a glass of wine, knowing it's finally all behind her. So deep down, she just wants to feel secure and respected. She wants a professional, sees the whole picture, not just a sale. And if she can find someone who makes that process smooth, honors her story, and takes care of everything, well, then she'd finally be willing to sign up with you, right? So Shannon, for this example, Susan, for this example, is a right-sizing seller, right? She's in a house. She's been there for a long time. You know, we're trying to now generate listing appointments, right, with right-sizing sellers. Tracy, does this sound familiar? Hopefully. So we're trying to do listing appointments with right-sizing sellers. Okay. So now that we have that as a kind of our baseline for what we're going to do, let's go back to our workbook, and I'm just going to go through and do this for right-sizing sellers. I would encourage you guys to do it for whoever your ideal customer profile is. Adam, another business owner, business development rep, head of sales, whatever, right? Jen, I think you were doing one for working moms, right? Wasn't that your profile?
Yep.
Right. So let's all keep our profiles, kind of centered here, and then we'll just go through this exercise together, doing it for our own profiles. Okay.
Do you want us to put the original description back into the chat GPT?
Not yet. We'll go through and do all that together. Okay, we're just going to do the workbook real quick and go through this. So, all right. So it depends on your goal, right? Your goal of a funnel could be anything. It could be, it could be a squeeze page where you're just trying to get someone to give you an email address so you can send them a checklist, and then you're going to follow up and drip on them later, right? It could be, selling a big offer, like, it could be, hey, I want to list your house, list with me, right? That's a $20,000 sale for the most part whenever you're trying to do that. It could be a coaching program. It could be a business development consulting engagement, and you're trying to set an appointment initially, right? It could be whatever you want to do. So in this case, we're going to write our ads where I want to set appointments with my leads. Okay. So the goal of my funnel is I want my leads to get access to, helpful lead magnets by giving their email. I can't type today. Look. Sorry, guys. I want get access to helpful lead magnets by giving their email, and then be prompted on the thank you page to book an appointment to talk about listing their home. One of the things that Hormozi and Brunson, they both agree on. Wow, I really can't type today. One of the things that they all agree on is that you should always have an upsell, right? So we might be wanting to set the appointment, but what are you going to sell to them next, right? Nate, I'm thinking about Hot Shots. And I don't know if you're doing a Hot Shots ICP, but let's say hypothetically you wanted to run a Hot Shots, photography landing page. Maybe you're giving them a coupon for some sort of photography. And then on the thank you page, like, hey, thanks for requesting information. Here's your coupon. Oh, by the way, would you want access to virtual staging at 50% off or something like that, right? Click here. Like, there's always something else to give your leads to show more value, okay? And so one thing that I would always want to do when I'm constructing a landing page is I'm not just worried about what's happening on the landing page. I'm also worrying about what's happening when they get to a thank you page, right? Because like you're going to have to give them the information or get them to booking an appointment. And so you always want to think about what is that flow before you start putting these things together. And this is why it's the first question we ask in our workbook. Okay. So here's where we can get a little fun. And we're going to kind of challenge our brains a little bit to think of things that could be potential hooks for people. Okay. And one of the ways that you can think about potential hooks, grabbing their attention, getting their interest, like that's what a hook is thinking about truths, myths, pain, or beliefs that we could challenge to grab their attention. Right. So if I'm thinking about, well, I'm really challenging myself now, but if I'm really thinking about what a right sizing seller might be thinking, is that there isn't, okay, so one myth would be that maybe there is no help for them to organize and pack up their house, right? Maybe that's something that we could break. Like there's a myth that they would have to pack up and organize all by themselves, and our team can help them take care of those needs, right? Okay, so that's one. What's something else that we need to do? Oh, maybe they're worried about buying before they sell, right? Maybe they're worried about a two-sided transaction, right? Well, I don't want to sell my place until I know what I can get into next. I love this home so much. I've been here for so long. I'm not going to move unless I find the perfect spot, right? So you don't have to sell or be on the market to buy, right? We can help finance, structure contracts and get financing to make that smooth, right? If these people are already dealing in a stressful situation, then why would they maybe want more stress of having to sell their place, get everything going, and they don't even know what they're going to buy yet? I imagine that's something that we could help them out. And a lot of people that we talk to, they're like, well, don't I need to sell before I buy? Like, how am I going to do that? No. We can help you out with that, right? I'm just curious, because I've got a couple of real estate agents on this call. Is there any another myth? If you're thinking about my ICP, a right sizing seller, someone who's been in their home for 30 years, needs to get into either a condo or a senior living community or something like that, is there another myth that you guys are aware of that we might be able to challenge in this example? My great Blue Pebble team? Come on, Tracy? Anything?
I'm thinking. I don't know. I mean, like, maybe the myth is that you have to move into like a assisted living like box, you know? That is
Right.
just like one solution.
Gotcha. You have other solutions to find a place that isn't just moving into senior care, right? There are other,
Retirement income.
go ahead.
Retirement income isn't enough to be able to make the transition.
Great. Yeah. I'm going to feed that in too. Like, what do I do with what do they do with all their money, right? If they're going to be selling a big place and going into a small one, they're going to get a bunch of cash, right? Maybe they want to meet with a financial advisor. Maybe they want to have some stuff going on in addition to that. Don't you think there's a real estate agent, maybe having introductions or financial advisors on staff who are willing to take these leads would be a good offer for a client or potential lead? 100%, right? So I love that, Jen. So what do you do with all the cash from the sale? We will introduce to financial advisors and lawyers who can help you structure your estate. Wow,
It could be the opposite situation too,
What? Tell me more.
that they're in a position that they have a lot of debt, or, they may not know how much, right? It could be completely flipped. They don't have retirement. They will not have leverage as much as they think.
Sure.
Same situation.
Yeah, they also have concerns about not having enough cash. And we can do a CMA, we can do a market analysis to get them comfortable with the risk, right? Something like that. Cool. So why don't you take a few seconds here and make sure you guys fill out your hooks or some potential ideas, right? Just some things that we might be able to use to grab some attention. Okay. Cool. So what's one thing, your call to action? What is one thing that you want them to do once they get to your landing page? What is it that you want them to do? Book, for me, it's going to be book your appointment or download your resources, right? So this is the question. So are we designing this page to just be a landing page for appointments, or are we designing it for lead magnet? So let's go back up to our initial, you know me, I always try to get to the appointment right away. So maybe I'm skipping ahead of myself, but we said, I want leads to get access to help a lead magnet. So I would say the action we want them to take is sign up to receive great information. Let's see how that goes. Not quite sure what it is yet, but we can figure that out later. So what would be like the, I guess, yes moment or clarifying the conversion event at the bottom. So like, what are they going to see here, or what are they going to be thinking at the bottom that will help them kind of get over the hump of being like, oh wow, this is really interesting. This is my grand slam, right? So I think here it needs to be, wow, I get all this for free. Or whatever, all this information just for inputting my email address and Jared, I guess we'll use my name, and Jared and his team seem like they really understand what I'm going through right now. Okay. So let's think about 3 to 5 content ideas. And this is going to be kind of the initial draft of your value, what Alex Hormozi would call your value stack. Okay. So we're currently testing a property management funnel right now. And basically one of the what we're doing on our property management funnel is we're saying, we're running Google ads, and those ads say, come to our landing page to download what we call the rent ready checklist. Travis and I put together a 19-page checklist where if you have a home you want to get on the market for rent, you can literally follow a 19-page checklist from start to finish. And if you do everything in that order, you will have a tenant in your home, cash flowing. You'll be licensed properly. You'll have the right insurance. You'll have the right legal structure. We literally did it all, right? And so we're running ads for this rent ready checklist. But when you download the rent ready checklist, you also get access to the full mailbox money kit, right? What's in the mailbox money kit? Well, the mailbox money kit includes a spreadsheet where you can calculate your rental pro forma and your rental income. It includes a book on 6 of the most common issues that landlords face and how to avoid getting into them in the first place. It also includes 4 scripts for conversations that are difficult that you might have with your tenants, including like when you have to raise the rent, if you're not going to renew the lease, how do you do it? Oh, and by the way, we give them ChatGPT prompts. So if they don't like what they see in our suggested scripts, we also give them some prompts for ChatGPT where they can go on and figure it out themselves, right? In addition to all that, when they sign up for an appointment with us, they get access to a rental CMA and a Salesforce rent analysis, right? So in that ICP, someone looking for a property management team, we're trying to give them so much stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, how would I know? Like, this is everything I would need to get my rental, whether I hire these guys or not, right? So Tracy, I'm going to pick on you because we've already talked about this a little bit. What are some of the content ideas that we would have for a right sizing seller right now?
Right sizing for seller, you said?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I mean, I think the most important thing is knowing where they're going to go next. I think that's kind of the discussing just, because we can't really create a strategy in terms of selling until we kind of know, like what their next step is.
So didn't we talk about creating some sort of like flow chart, outlining some of the questions they need to ask themselves and how that how the answers would impact where they would end up, kind of thing?
Yeah. I have a checklist that I drafted, but I got to find it. I don't have it open right now, but yeah, that's kind of the first stage is kind of figuring out what the pain points are, what are the stressors, and what their next step is. Because in my opinion, you can't really provide the best strategy until you kind of know what their goals are, what their next stage is.
Great. So what I'm going to do is create a flow chart showing decisions that need to be made and the pain points in selling a home to move to right size. That shows their best options for what to buy. And I would just say, and we need a cool name for this chart. So let's just maybe give ChatGPT a hint later that we need a cool name for the chart too. Let's see how this goes. All right, what else would be cool? How about a free consultation with a financial advisor from UBS or Merrill Lynch? What else could we do? We could do what other cool things could we do here? How about a free mortgage, a free consultation to get cash with a reverse mortgage if they don't want to sell.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah. I know that falls into the initial strategy session of what the next step. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Tracy, do we have anything else in that checklist? I thought we had like, was there anything around state attorneys or anything like that we had to talk about?
Yep. That was what I was going to add. State attorneys.
With an estate attorney to review all your documents. Wow, I really can't type. Good thing the next section is less typing. So I guess I just got to get past part 3, and then you guys will be home free from my typos, I promise. All right. That was not the fix. Okay, get your documents checked. What was that? POA, will, estate plan, something like that, right? What else do we have? Maybe a coupon to hire a free coupon for organizers, right?
Yeah, I was going to, I think I have to recommend like just starting with one room at a time in terms of like decluttering, organizing. But yeah, I like the coupon idea. That's good.
Okay. Free coupon for organizing and packing. What is that? That's up to a, let's just say probably, what would it cost to get someone in there? It's probably like a $500 value, $250 value these days. Tracy, would you be willing to pay $500 if someone booked an appointment with you to sell their house?
Me personally?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you generated this lead, wouldn't you be willing to spend $500 on a packer to come in and help get this deal done for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Potentially,
So let's
yeah.
offer it. Let's offer it. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we've got at least an initial item, right? And so this is going to be the first draft of what we call our value stack. Okay. And so what I want everyone to do is go through on your own for your own ICPs, and let's figure out some 3 to 5 awesome things that if we were our ICP, and ironically, I'm not sure you guys noticed this from last session, but most people had an ICP that was actually very similar to themselves. So in this case, it'd be very easy to kind of put yourself in the position of the ICP, especially that ICP resonates with who you are as a person, right? The challenge becomes when you're trying to develop ICPs for people that you don't know as well. I'll be honest, I've never right-sized yet. I don't have a will. I mean, Tracy would have power of attorney over me probably if it really came to it. So I have no idea what's going on, right? So it's harder for me to think about this stuff. And by the way, there are other tips and tricks. So if you guys are going through this process with ICPs that you don't know as well, and you want help from ChatGPT, please reach out to me. Let me know. I'm happy to help with some other prompts and get you guys straightened away so you can get a really good value stack going. Okay? Cool. Thumbs up. Does everyone have output here? Do we need to wait a couple of minutes? Or are we ready to start doing the ChatGPT thing? Good to go? 1 second for Jen. All right, cool. Thumbs up from Tierra. Cool. Jen, let us know. Take your time. While we're finishing up and people are getting their initial inputs into this workbook, I'm just curious, does anyone have any questions so far? Cool. I'll be honest, before we get into the ChatGPT section, it will never be perfect on the first try, ever, right? There will be something that's off. So what we're going to do here is also go through the process of training, of communicating with ChatGPT. So when you go through this process, you always want to edit it, right? I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make with AI is they assume that whatever AI outputs from them is going to be great, right? Yeah, I mean, there's a good shot it's really good. But the question is it production ready, right? And so what I would always encourage you guys to do is no matter what you're doing, don't just take outputs from ChatGPT without reviewing them. Don't just put them in production. Jen, you good to go? Good to go. All right, sweet, we're ready. So before we go do a lot of this pasting, okay, what I want you guys to do, actually, we don't need to do this yet. I'm jumping ahead of myself. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to say, go into your workbook and copy just this top paragraph right here. Okay? Just the top paragraph. So we're going to copy that. We're going to go into our ChatGPT session. Now, I'm just going to show you what happens when you do a new one. Okay? So like, let's just assume that ChatGPT doesn't have any memory of our conversation because like I said, they just rolled that out. And so I haven't had a chance to test that yet. So I don't want to do that live on a demo. I'm already flying by the seat of my pants enough with you guys on this. I don't want to do more. Okay. So let's just assume that we're starting a new ChatGPT session. Maybe it's maybe we don't have access to our stuff, whatever. So we're starting this from brand new. So take your prompt, throw it into your initial section right here, but don't hit enter yet. Don't do anything yet. Okay. Just paste. Cool. All right. Then at the end, what you're going to do is you're going to type ideal customer profile. Okay. Just like that. And then you're going to go to your ICP document, the one that we saved and made handy. We're going to copy and paste all this. I guess you don't need to double say ideal customer profile. You can if you want. AI is pretty smart, so it'll figure that out. But then what you do is you paste your ideal customer profile. And don't worry about the length of your prompt. It's crazy. You can write in thousands of words into these prompts and it'll take them. Okay. So don't worry about the length. The length is totally cool. What you're going to go down to though is scroll down to the bottom. And then what you're going to say is, wrong page, my bad. So then you're going to say funnel info, but what you're going to do is you're going to copy everything. So we're going to go up here. Say funnel info, go back to our prompt. And so after your ICP, just say funnel information. And then you're going to paste all the funnel information. And drum roll, please. I appreciate when AI tells me I did great work. It's always nice getting that extra little vote of confidence from my AI. So, all right, cool. So great work outlining your ICP and funnel. This is a powerful archetype, deeply emotional. Based on what you provided, here are 3 comprehensive sets of ideas tailored to her. So let's see what we got. We've got 3 different ideas, right? So ChatGPT, what is it giving us? So right now what we did was we asked for it to, what did we actually ask for it to do? We asked for it to use the following inputs: 3 ideas for lead magnets that they'd be most interested in signing up for, 3 suggestions on how to make these lead magnets have scarcity, and then 3 ideas for an upsell that we could show the lead after they successfully download a lead magnet. Okay. So what we're trying to do is just basically get more information about how to make our landing page better. Okay. And so let's go back to our guide and let's see what ChatGPT output, and let's see which one we want to roll with here. Okay. So let's see, we've got 3 lead magnets. We've got the Piece of Home Transition Guide, beautiful PDF workbook, 30 years of memories, options with assisted living, a checklist for hiring trustworthy professionals. That sounds pretty good, right? The where will you go next? The home options and lifestyle comparison chart. Cool. I think these are pretty good because I have a marketing brain like a scientist. So anything more than numbers is pretty good. So where will you go next? So home options and lifestyle comparison chart, right? Local condos, features, options for staying in those areas. And then the right time to sell, a senior's guide to selling smart and not fast, right? Market conditions, emotional financing, timing to sell, what to do if the house isn't updated, how to access cash before selling, right? I think these are pretty good. So let's make a decision. I personally like 1 or 3 better. Which was the group like better here? 1 or 3? The piece of home transition guide, Jen says 3. The right time to sell, the guide to smelling smart, not fast. Any other votes really quick? No? Anyone? Nate says 3. Shannon says 3. All right, we're going with 3. Sweet. A right time to sell. Excellent. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this we're going to copy the one that we want, and we're just going to go back to our workbook. And don't worry if it gets a little messy. Matt says 3. All right, we're all aligned. We're going with 3. Awesome. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our workbook right here, and we're going to just paste right here just all the output. Okay, don't worry about that. It's all good. You can just paste it right there, and then we're going to go on to the next thing. So what's the scarcity strategy? So let's go back to scarcity and upselling, right? Because one of the other things that Hormozi and Brunson both say is that scarcity will add urgency, especially in an emotional situation for a lead, right? So like, let's say that, I mean, we've all done this, right? Forget my ICP. We're at an open house and we're talking to a lead coming into the open house, or maybe we're prospecting a new business owner, Adam. And this says, oh yeah, like that'd be great. Like, well, I'm free whenever you want. I can meet today. I can meet tomorrow. I can meet over the weekend. I can meet Tuesday morning for breakfast. Like when do you want to meet? Right? That doesn't make it seem like your time is in a lot of demand. Right? So like just by being that available, I mean, we can go back to dating. I think my team gives me too much grief for talking about dating and sales in the same sentence a lot of the times, but dating's the same way. If you're always available at the beginning stages of a relationship, are you going to like generate that interest, right? No, you got to like have some scarcity. Shannon's shaking right. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Shannon. I love that. You got to generate some scarcity, right? No, you can't see me tomorrow. Make some plans, right? Like call me ahead. That's how I want to be treated. So yeah, you got to have some scarcity. So what we're going to do is try and create scarcity within our business. Okay. So here's the thing though about scarcity. You can't lie. So when you're saying like, whenever you put out a scarcity offer online, you can't have your client call bullshit on you, right? Oh, I only deal with 1 client a year on a listing presentation. Is that true? That would make you very scarce. I think that any lead would tell you that you're kind of crazy about that, right? So with our property management scarcity, one of the things that we're trying right now is we're saying that we only have capacity to onboard 5 families a month, because that's true. Like Matt and Travis spend a lot of time onboarding and managing new tenant and new client relationships. And so like in theory, if we had 20 people wanting to take advantage of our property management right now, we would have a very full pipeline and we would not be able to service it all, right? So scarcity does not just need to be, what does the market say is scarce? It can be scarce based on your operational ability to deliver the product, right? Hey, Nate, how many listings could you take this month? You got me, bud. Is Nate coming up? Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
There we are.
I'd take as many as you could get me, but realistically, I think that with my time, probably 2 to 3, maybe right now with what I already have.
Great. So like that's an awesome scarcity thing, right? Like if you come up, if you're marketing for listings and you're saying, hey, I've got this incredible package. It's free photography and free virtual staging with HotShots Pro and free websites and free all the stuff, and get your done for you online listing marketing kit as part of Listing with Nate and Beth Strouch, you would only have the opportunity to do that for 3 people a month. Isn't that scarcity? There are more than 3 homes to sell in the market every month, right? So I think that's something that you could add to your funnels or add to your marketing in a tactful way and say, look, there's limited capacity here. I can only serve 3 new clients a month. That's scarcity. Right. And so that's what I'm trying to convey here. Right. We want to like get them over the hump. If this option is always available for them, then there's not going to be incentive for them or push for them to click. We want them to click on our stuff. Okay. So here are the ideas that we have for scarcity for our right sizing sellers. It's only 100 downloads this month. That doesn't sound too scarce, so maybe we want to skip on that one. Bonus for early downloaders. Download the next 48 hours and get a free 15-minute call with our home transition experts to help you get started. Okay. I mean, I don't know what that means, but that sounds better than 100 downloads a month, right? Or a time-limited expert call, tie the urgency to the attorney or the financial advisors, right? We've partnered with select professionals each month and only have 5 consultation slots. Claim yours when you download. I like that one, especially if we're going with the third lead magnet, which is about financials and stress and all that kind of thing, right? And by the way, I am okay with this one because I know my financial advisors could take more than 5 client meetings a month. But am I really looking to get more than 5 listings a month? Probably not, right? Based on its feedback of 2 or 3 a month. So realistically, if we had 5 people in the pipeline with these consultations and we thought that only 2 or 3 of them were going to convert, this would be a good scarcity offer, right? So I'm okay with this one. So what we're going to do for the scarcity is we're going to tie urgency to the consultations, not to the downloads on information. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our workbook, and then we're going to pick out the thing with scarcity that we really like. Let me find it right here. So go back to your workbook. You're going to find a section here called scarcity strategy. What you're going to want to do is paste that here as well. And that's great. All right, cool. Now let's do our last thing before we actually get real marketing, actionable funnel assets created. So let's talk about the upsell, right? So remember, I always said that you're going to have a squeeze page or a lead magnet page where they get to download information or they watch a video, or maybe it's like a 10-minute webinar on Nate telling how awesome photography is. And what I'm just picking on Nate's photography because I know that business pretty well, right? So like, talk about what you need to do with photography in your house, right? Jen's talking about, hey, tips and tricks for working moms, how to balance it all and have your cake still too every night, kind of thing, right? Like what I've figured out that most working moms don't know. It's a little 5-minute video to build some confidence and build some goodwill with your leads, right? After you watch this thing, like after you get through the squeeze page, right, and you get to the thank you page, you always have to have something else to sell. Because if you have a lead that is interested in transacting with you now, why would you stop the funnel? Thanks for downloading my information. Okay, I was ready to buy. What are you talking about? Right? So always have the next thing. Okay. And by the way, as you build out these funnels, you can add steps. So like this is part of funnel construction, is calibrating your offers and your lead magnets and your steps, right? This is not just a point and click, one shot done. Like these require a little bit of calibration. Okay. So for right now, we've got a couple different things. We've got a right size planning call, a stress-free home prep package. We've got a senior home transition blueprint. And, I think for me right now, where I'm at is I'm trying to get the appointment. That's what I said, right? At the end of my funnel, I want them booking an appointment with me, right? So I think what I'm going to say is we're going to do a right size planning call plus a bonus of a stress-free home prep package, right? So we can also do bonuses too, and those are pretty cool. So what we're going to do now with I keep going back to the wrong document. Sorry. Go back to our workbooks. So the upsell strategy is going to be initially book this 30-minute consultation. And what we're going to do is we're going to type in our workbook as a bonus for when you book the appointment, you'll get, we'll go back. How's it going, bud? The stress-free home prep package. Now, what's interesting here is that it's saying the cost is $149 instead of $500, right? There are a couple different things you can do here, especially with your upsells. And it depends on kind of how valuable you think the market is thinking whatever your content is going to be. Right. So in theory, if you're putting money into these ads, because you're not going to get your ads shown unless you're spending budget. Right. If you could come up with an upsell, like how great would it be if you're a real estate agent that could come up with something that people would pay $50 a download and not book an appointment with you? Well, if you're spending $50 to get someone to sign up, and then someone else, or let's say you spend $25 to get someone to sign up and they don't call, but then they spend another $25 to get another sign up, and then they're willing to spend $50 on another thing before they meet with you. Didn't you just make all your money back? I mean, that's pretty cool, right? So effectively, you're running ads for free if you can figure out one thing to monetize as part of your funnel, right? So it depends on you how you want to do it. And this is, once again, one of those things that you can calibrate with your funnels is, would you want the upsell to include a cost or would you want it for free? Right? And so what I'm going to do here is just do it for free, because in real estate, you don't typically have people selling stuff for upsells. But I would challenge you guys, like, Nate, especially when you have a side hustle like photography, right? Spend $50 to get your home photo prep listing package and get another $100 coupon off Hot Shots Pro when you do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you could do it. Spend $50. You don't need to meet with me, but I'll give you $100 back in the coupon because you're going to need photography at some point, right? So that's, I mean, maybe $150. Like, we got to make a grand slam, right? So we got to kind of figure out what that looks like, you know? But for right now, we're going to say the cost is free. Instead of the $149. So I'm just going to make this edit right here. Free with booked appointment. And I'll just say it's a $500 value. The other thing too is, like, you don't want to BS your values, right? Oh, download this thing. It's a $1,500 value, and it's a checklist for how to get pre-approved for a mortgage. Okay, I could do a Google search, really do that in 5 seconds, right? So if you are going to assign values to something, then you got to make sure the values are legit, right? And we'll just say organization, not intro to organizer plus coupon for services, right? Maybe it's a 50% off coupon or something. So see, like I said, you got to kind of look through what ChatGPT gives you and kind of tailor it a little bit better for what you're trying to do. There is no way, in my opinion, to generate all this in one shot and get it perfect. So unlike where we were in the first part, where we kind of went boom, 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 now you're going to have a little bit more massaging to do. Okay, cool. So now that we've got all of our information, all right, Jared, you've been teasing this now for 2.5 hours. I want to see something that I can actually put into work. When are we going to get to that? The time is now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to basically use your ideal customer profile and the information about your funnel, the selections about your scarcity magnet, and write a clear brief outlining a layout and content for a 3-section squeeze page to collect lead information that includes a section devoted to outlining my value stack, a 5 email follow-up sequence that could be sent to my ICP following a sequence similar to Russell Brunson's 5-step email follow-up process, and 3 concepts for a 30 to 60-second video that I can record to generate traffic to this landing page, including a strong hook in CTA. Well, okay. Want to give this a shot? What do you guys think? All right, let's do it. So here's how we're going to create this prompt. We're going to take this. Okay, we're going to go back to ChatGPT. Here's that. And we're going to say one more thing. Here are my choices for lead magnet, scarcity, and upsell. And what we're going to do is go back to our workbook. We're going to go up here and we're just going to copy and paste. All right. Let's see what we get. And remember, like I said last time, it's always good when you see updated saved memory, right? So this is memory that will persist independent of the chat stuff. Like this is kind of core memory stuff for your Google Chat. What was that movie where you had all the like the little things in that girl's head, and there's like little balls, and there's like a core memory ball? You know what I'm talking about? No, it's a Disney movie, animated. Core memory.
Inside Out.
Inside Out. Thank you. Yeah, this is like Inside Out. This is a core memory for Inside Out right there. Thank you. Appreciate it, Shane. All right, cool. So let's go down and see now what they came up with. Cool. So 3-section squeeze page layout and content brief. Collect name and email exchange for lead magnet. Drive interest in booking a right size planning call. Love it. And now you have all the information you need to build a 3-section landing page specifically tailored to your ICP. So you got a headline. Is it the right time to sell your long-time home? Clarity, not pressure. Free guide made just for people navigating challenges. It tells you what you need. How about a cover image of the PDF guide? The right time to sell. Opt-in form. Name and email only, by the way. Do not ask for phone numbers, especially if you're doing a squeeze page, right? So like whenever you're doing a squeeze page, your goal is not lead quality, it is lead quantity. Okay? Lead quality will happen after your squeeze page when you follow up and you give them the upsell. Okay? So we're really looking for, in this case, we're looking for quantity over quality. I'm going to revert that a little bit when we go to Google Ads, but for right now, we're talking quantity over quality. Okay? Once they get to the page, that is. We want more people signing up, not less. Opt-in form, send me the guide, bullets, understand today's market, learn how to time your sell emotionally and financially, discover options if your home isn't updated, explore ways to access cash before you sell. Aren't these like the major pain points that my ICP has? Boom. We're just hitting them right in a row. Top of the fold, first thing you see, right? All right, now let's go down to the value stack. So right below, download your guide. You'll also get access to these awesome resources. A free estate planning and financial planning consultation, only $5 per month, first come, first serve. Reverse mortgage and bridge loan guidance if you need it. Local organizer, help you sort and pack in a home valuation options overview, right? And then one more CTA. Want help with your move? We offer a 3-minute call. Download, and what you're going to do is basically download the call, but this will be download. What here I think what we need to say, frankly, is instead of like book the call, you could do that. I could also say, you know, for section 3, we could give it some feedback. For section 3, let's have the CTA point to the initial lead magnet download and tease the upsell when you download the lead magnet. Let's see what it says. Boom. So now we're aligned along our landing page. Everything is to download the lead magnet. We tease the upsell, and there we go. Right? All right, cool. Now let's go through and check out the emails. Check out what we can do here. Email 1. Welcome delivery. Here you go. And what you can do here with these emails is obviously you didn't draft an email. You're not just going to copy and paste all this, but you can say, great. This email looks really good. Can you output a draft that I could copy and paste into a template on my CRM. It's thinking. And for anyone that's read Russell Brunson's books, this actually follows his format. He always wants to personalize his first email. So that's why it says a quick hello. My name is Jared. You know, but yeah, you could literally copy and paste this pretty much directly in your CRM, queue it up and go high, attach it on automation, you're good to go. Okay. And then the last one that we were looking at was video concepts, right? For Blue Pebble people, little plug, Shannon is about to be testing an automated UGC content creator, where we can basically create scripts and generate automated avatar UGC content for effectively free on demand. Wouldn't it be great to have a nice little script written in the voice of your ICP, maybe with an avatar that looks like your ICP, using a voice that would resemble your ICP, and then you could just send out that automated video and you don't need to put yourself on camera ever again? I mean, that sounds kind of cool. By the way, if you want it to be a deep fake of yourself, that only adds an extra 2 or 3 hours of work. So if you wanted to basically deep fake yourself and include a deep fake video of yourself doing any of these videos, you could do that for less than $100 and 3 hours of time. So pretty cool stuff right there too. Okay. So now that we're all aligned and we've got section 3 done, are there any questions on section 3 before we jump into actually how to create an ad on Google Ads? Any questions? Cool. Awesome. So